Space religion. The Force is a floating signifier. Strap in Padawan philosophers. We're touring the galaxy to see how the Force shapeshifts into whatever meaning its users need, like a mystical space Rorschach test.
Number 5. The Force goes native. Local gods, global vibes. Wherever you land in the galaxy, the Force picks up a local accent and starts drinking the regional tea. The Lesat Talk, Eshla, and Bogan, the Guardians of the Wills, curates spiritual, minimalism, and the Night Sisters remix it into witchcraft with a fog machine. Far from a monolith, the Force behaves like a cosmic commons that cultures graze differently, whether as ecological kinship, hello Bendu and big trees, or as ritual technique, incantations, kyber chants, and vibe space navigation. This localization turns the Force into a floating signifier. Par excellence, same word, wildly divergent meanings. Yet the lights flicker on all the same. Even space whales and lullaby-singing orbs get a seat in the choir, hinting that the living and cosmic facets are less a hierarchy than a neighborhood potluck. The result, a religion that's not one religion, but a translatable, renewable current that communities narrate into their own cosmologies without blowing the fuses.
Number 4, mic drop. Midichlorians. Crash the mystery. Midichlorians are that awkward friend who explains the punchline, yet somehow makes the joke weirder and bigger, instead of smaller. On paper, they quantify receptivity to the Force. In practice, they ignite debates about bloodlines, testing regimes, and the bureaucratic urge to spreadsheet the sublime. Biopolitically, they invite empires and orders alike to measure, sort, and recruit bodies, cue prophecies, grooming prodigies, and the occasional ethically questionable lab experiment. But the demystification doesn't actually deflate enchantment. It reframes it as ecology, symbiosis, and chorus, life listening to life. The Force shrugs off the microscope, becoming both the poem and the Petri dish, a mystery that tolerates meters without surrendering its music.
Number 3, red sabers, red flags, Sith marketing debt. The Sith treat the Force like a brand campaign. Scarcity mindset meets luxury power with a limited edition colorway called Unlimited. Their pitch deck is desire forward, own your fear, weaponize your grief, disrupt mercy, wrapped in a minimalist slogan. Might is right, because it feels amazing. By personalizing the Force into a mirror for ambition, they turn metaphysics into a gym membership for the ego, complete with a 2-person venture fund, the rule of 2, to keep the messaging tight. Propaganda thrives here. History reframed as victimhood, cruelty rebranded as clarity, and lightning as performance art. The floating signifier hardens into a blade because the Sith insist it does. Red is not a hue, but a worldview, bled through crystals and commitments alike.
Number 2, Council of Cloaks, Bureaucracy and Ropes. The Jedi take the Force to HR, filing it under Serenity with strict guidelines on attachments, wardrobe, and indoor voice usage. Their institutional handling turns a wild current into a curriculum, meditation, trials, and an ethics syllabus that sometimes bends into political consultancy. While aiming for harmony, the Order can calcify, interpreting balance as managerial equilibrium rather than relational repair, and confusing detachment with avoidance. War pushes their metaphysics into logistics, generals in robes start issuing memos, and the Force becomes less a mystery than a mandate. The signifier, once fluid, gets notarized, and in that paper trail, the living pulse can sound suspiciously like clerical rustling. Number 1, light, dark, and the 50 Shades of Jedi. Light and dark feel like tidy bins until the Force starts color grading the scene with grays, ambers, and the occasional wolf-shaped cloud. What balance means depends on who's holding the metaphor. Equilibrium, moral math, a reset button, or an eternal tango between order and chaos. Characters bleed across lines. No Jedi. Ahsoka, repentant Vader, conflicted Kylo, turning alignment into a verb rather than a box to check. Even the Force itself seems ambidextrous, offering comfort or catastrophe through the same current depending on the hand on the dial. That slippage is the secret sauce. The Force signifies not one morality, but a stage where motives, myths, and moments choreograph, meaning mid-fight. Whether whispered in temples, shouted in throne rooms, or hummed by space whales, the Force stays deliciously undefined. A galactic Mad Lib that's somehow truer because every culture gets to fill in the blanks.